Hey friends, I am having to use this revolutionary uh, app you probably never heard of. It's called Microsoft Paint. It's pretty groundbreaking. Only problem is, my stylus is dead, so I'll have to use my fingies, but that's okay. We're going to rise above. So let's talk about El Nino. It's ENSO, El Nino Southern Oscillation. A fan oscillates from back to forth, and from year to year, the blob of warm water in the Pacific Ocean oscillates back and forth. Southern Pacific, so Southern Oscillation. Let's talk about, ready fingers? Let's talk about what it's supposed to be normally. So for normal, I'm going to use like a Blues Clue. Not off to a great start. Under normal, I'm going to rise above. We had to do this. This is my third time making this video. We're doing it right now. Under normal or neutral circumstances, what happens? Those trade winds are blowing strong across the Southern Pacific, and that's going to move this blob of warm water all the way over here where it's supposed to be. Because there's that warm blob of warm water over there, closer towards Australia, what's going to happen? That's going to leave like a void, this vacuum over by South America. And what's going to fill that vacuum is cold water coming up from the depths. Ooh, look at me do this. Does that help you at all? No. So that's called upwelling, coastal upwelling. The cold, oxygen-rich, nutrient-rich water comes up wells from the depths. That's going to kick off the food chain. That's going to give the fishermen plenty to fish, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's normal conditions. However, it doesn't happen very regularly. It happens like every 2 to 7 years or so. We have something called El Nino. So that means the little boy, what little boy? The little baby Jesus. The fishermen in the south, this is their summer, is December. And Christmas is December. Remember, the axial tilt is the reason for the season. And they, I guess, blame it on little poor baby Jesus. I don't get why they blame it on him. I mean, he didn't do enough for you. He's a fisher of men. Like, he's a fisherman. You can't. Anyway, so what happens now is those trade winds that are supposed to be blowing all the way across are very, very weak. Sometimes those are arrows. Sometimes they even like reverse directions. And so now what happens? There's nothing blowing that blob over. The blob stays over here, that blob of warm water. It's going to it's going to push down that upwelling, so the cold, oxygen-rich, nutrient-rich water does not come up, and any fish that needs those nutrients is going to have to like go deep down below, or maybe go off to another part of the globe. And that's going to definitely disrupt food chains. That's going to definitely disrupt the fishing. And so I would have like, here's where my fishing is supposed to be along the coast, but Papi Chulo, no bueno, El Nino puts a squash on that guy. So that's what happens with El Nino. The warm blob stays over in our neck of the woods, our part of the Pacific Ocean, and that's not good. So we get neutral, we get El Nino. La Nina is the opposite of that, the swaying back and forth. So La Nina, let's use, oh my God, am I going to be like heteronormative, like gender roles, and say like a pink for La Nina? Because I guess the opposite of a boy is a girl, because I guess there's only two genders. That's canceled. Either way, they call it La Nina because I guess the opposite happens. What's the opposite that happens? Now those traded winds are crazy strong all the way across the ocean. Can you picture what's going to happen to that warm blob? Yeah, it's going to be over um, way far over here. Okay, too far over to the side. And so now I guess the upwelling will be better. So I guess the fishing will be better. It's just that if El Nino causes this region to be really cold and dry, La Nina will cause the same exact region to be really warm and really wet. Um, and so that's what happens with El Nino Southern Oscillation. What you're going to do is on the pair deck. I did this last year, and students were successful last year. I'm going to sign it to you. You can do it. Um, on the pair deck, you're going to color. We've done this before where I have you like color, when we do a temperature check, what's filling your emotional bucket. But this time, you're going to actually color code, be very, very specific, use the colors assigned to you in the key, and you should be able to tell based on where that warm blob is. Is this year, 1987 or an 88, is it an El Nino year, a La Nina year, or is it in the middle neutral year? So if you can do this, you are definitely ready for those questions on the AP test and on our exam on Friday. Um, Plus, this is something that's kind of important to know about in life. So have fun with it. I hope this video